Hey gamers, welcome back to the channel. Today in DC Dark Legion, I want to talk about Artemis. She is now available in the game as of about a week ago. It took me a little longer to get this video out because I'm trying something a little bit different. I'm diving into the world of graphics, so we'll see what that looks like. Trying to create something that's easy to use, that'll give you all the information that you're looking for. We're going to take a look at her kit. We're going to take a look at her in combat. There's a lot of cool stuff here, so let's get into it. All right, and welcome back. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Artemis, we have the 5th Amazonian, which is awesome. She fits well into the team. I think what we were hoping for, though, is since DM Wonder Woman is owned by maybe 1 to 2% of the player base right now, people were hoping Artemis was going to be that damage dealer that DM Wonder Woman is. Obviously, with all of them on the team, they complement each other very well. We're going to go through her kit in a second. The early testing that I've done, I've got her at 2 purple stars. I don't have her maxed, obviously, and I haven't talked to anybody who's got her at full red stars just yet, but I have gotten her close to what DM Wonder Woman puts out as far as damage, but that's only been a couple times. Most of the time, she's been quite a bit lower. DM Wonder Woman, obviously, is very hard to get, and she's this new, what is that? I can't even remember. Iconic character, so obviously I think she's meant to do more damage anyway. But Artemis can be the damage dealer. Just don't expect her to do as much as DM Wonder Woman does. Let's go ahead and take a look at her kit here real quick. Her kit is interesting in the fact that her damage here is based on both attack and physical defense. So you can see she does a certain amount of damage here that's based off of 660% of her attack plus her physical defense. So as you look at gearing her up and her force, and I do have that on the graphic as well that I'm going to show here in just a minute, you really want to take a look at those, right? This right here increases her physical defense, which is awesome, but also reduces damage during duels. Duels we'll talk about in a second. The faded target here at the start of battle increases Artemis's attack and physical defense, so everything is bolstering her attack and her defense so that she can do more damage. By 8% for each Amazonian ally present. So obviously, have her in a full team. That's where you're going to get the full effect of that. Over here, increases champions' HP by 2%. Additional 2% for guardians. Now here's the duels. So Artemis deals physical damage equal to 1500% of her attack and physical defense. So you can see that there to an enemy. Then challenges them to a duel for 10 seconds. The duel deals 120% more damage, has 60% less spiritual defense, and is immune to control effects. The target can only attack Artemis with basic attacks. So this is kind of a taunt as well. So it's a duel, but it's a taunt because the target can only attack Artemis with basic attacks. And it seems like only attack Artemis, so it seems like an interesting mechanic there. But this here, Artemis deals 120% more damage, has 60% less spiritual defense, and is immune to control effects. So this leads me to believe that she's probably going to be pretty good in PvP. So I don't know. She's got an interesting kit. When we go out and take a look at her force, I've got almost everything maxed. The first 3 things I maxed, though, was these abilities here, because this gives her energy. Whenever I see a character with energy gain in their force, I typically will go with that first because this is going to help her launch her attacks much quicker, do more damage. And then this one here, this increases her attack. And then this one up here increases physical defense. So I went for those 3 first before I went anywhere else. As far as gear goes, this is where I have. I do have attack and HP on this piece of gear right here. I haven't transmuted everything. I'm not a huge fan of transmute. This one here, I've got physical penetration and attack there. But I will sometimes go for that 1 or 2 buffs right there on these ones, on those transmute effects. So, all right, now let's talk about her weapon, the Mistress. Very cool. You get an increase in attack and HP, which is nice. Obviously helps with that survivability since she is a guardian as well. Specific to her right here, I like this. Increases Artemis's damage dealt during duels by 40%, so that's to that one target. If she defeats her target in a duel, all Amazon allies' damage dealt is increased by 20% for 15 seconds. So this is not something, the duel isn't a benefit typically in most of your combat cycles. I think maybe it works out pretty well with Merciless, We'll see which one is today. For some reason, I'm forgetting. Let's see. Warborn Essence. This is for anybody, but this increases physical defense, which is awesome. Upon casting a skill or ultimate, the wearer's crit rate is increased by 5%, stacking up to 3 times. So you get increase in physical defense. You get increase in attack. You get increase in HP. You get increase in crit, which is nice. And then if you defeat enemies in a duel, you're going to get that damage increase for all of your Amazon allies, which is pretty nice as well. So definitely a weapon you want to get if you're going to be going for Artemis. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's jump out into combat cycle. We're going to do, we got Merciless up, which I think is beneficial because I was just talking about Merciless. Let's talk about, let's put, let me see, let's go ahead. Let's put all of them, all of the Amazons into a team here. Let's see, where is my other Amazon? Which one am I missing? I'm missing Artemis. Right here. All right, so I'm going to swap those two out right there. All right, so let's see how well she does. I think, again, for the duel, this will come in handy because you can defeat the minions, which is good. But if you go up against, like, Devastator stuff, you're not really killing anybody, so you're not increasing that damage. So I think it's her being useful in combat cycle is going to be specific to a couple of the combat cycle bosses, and that's about it. I think also when we take a look at other game modes, campaign, I think she'll be fine in. But I think when you take a look at Training Simulator, definitely useful there as well as in PvP. All right. Doing some decent damage. We don't have a healer there. I think that's really where this team fails to be super successful, is there is no healer at all to keep them up. So you really got to make sure that you've got them built pretty well if you want them to make it through the combat cycle here. I think a few are going to die by the end of this one here, but also when you go up against enemies in PvP. So I've got my Hippolyta down. I've got Artemis down as well. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to fast forward this and take a look at the damage at the end of it. We're going to compare Artemis and DM Wonder Woman, who seems to be the only one left, and there is no fast forward, so let's take a look. All right, so just taking a look at here, you can see she came in at 1.3 million. I've got 43 million off of DM Wonder Woman, right? 1.3? No. 13 million. I came in 13 million, right? There we go. 13 million versus 43 million. About a 30 million damage difference. There's a couple times where she got up to about the same damage as DM Wonder Woman, but against everybody else, look at, we got 1.3. We don't even have a million here. Obviously not expecting that from her or from Wonder Woman. So she is the damage dealer for the team. But I think these characters are going to be better in hybrid teams. So let's go out. Let's put another team together that I do like quite a bit. Hold on. It's a hybrid, obviously using JLD. But I'm going to take out, let's go ahead, put DM Wonder Woman in there. I'm going to put Riddler in there. And then I'm going to put in, who else did I want to throw in here? Oh, let's just throw in Artemis, and then I'll do the one-on-one comparison there. So let's do these three right here. I mean, these five. Now we've got our shields, we got our heals. With Riddler, we've also got a damage increase for physical damage dealing, which is all of these characters, well, not all these characters, which are DM Wonder Woman and Artemis, but we also have spiritual damage increase as well, which is helping my Constantine quite a bit. All right, so we're going to go ahead, fast forward this now. We'll take a look, and we'll compare the two in this team at the end of this battle. All right, a few seconds left. We're almost done here. Artemis took a dirt nap, so her damage, drastically low. But let's see what this looks like. So we've got her. Yeah, she only came in at 9.1 million. Ton of damage here by Constantine and DM Wonder Woman. So let's do this. We're gonna go one more. And I am going to bring in another healer. Yeah. See if we can keep Artemis in the fight just a little bit longer. I don't necessarily think I need Swamp Thing in here. He does a fair amount of damage, so we'll see if we can make up for that with keeping everybody alive all the way to the end. After this, we'll take a look at PvP really quick if I have any attempts there. All right, there we go. Wrapping this fight up. Everybody stayed up this time, obviously, since we have another healer here. But let's take a look at damage. So we've got what? So we brought her in at 1.4. No, 14. I keep shortening that, right? Yeah, 14.8 million. We got 50 million here on DM, and we've got 82 million there. Pretty consistent with those two. But with Artemis, just not getting that damage up there. But again, without DM Wonder Woman on your team, Artemis is that damage dealer. Just don't expect her damage to be too close to what DM Wonder Woman puts out. So let's go ahead and take a look at PvP over here at Meta Brawl. Let's do a battle here. I do have a team with her on it. Let's go to 7 million. And let's see. Yeah, so I've got her. So this is my typical team in Brawl, except I have DM Wonder Woman here instead of Artemis. So let's go ahead and do the fight. Shields are going to go up in just a second. Keep an eye on her damage here. I mean, not her damage, but her health. Done. Let's take a look at damage here and what she did. So, stats. Boom. She pulled in, what? Almost 500,000 here. We got almost, what? Almost 3 million out of Constantine there, which is expected. But almost 500,000 out of here. But look at this. I still have Swamp Thing doing more damage than her. Granted, Swamp Thing is at 1 red star versus 2 purple with Artemis. So I think Artemis is obviously going to scale and the damage is going to get better. So I'd be interested to see what she puts out at 5 red stars. Let's go ahead and do another one. 8.4. Let's go to 8.4. What's my team at? 8 against 8.4. That one was kind of quick. So let's go ahead and do this one. I don't have any other Amazons on the team, actually, so her taking care of an opponent isn't going to help buff the team as it would if I had the Amazons on there. Let's go ahead and take a look at that one. That battle here. Yeah, just under 500,000, 27 million there, 2.7 million there from Constantine, and we got 1.1 million there from Swamp Thing. So kind of hard to fully test her when I don't have her at the level of the other ones, because Constantine at 5 red, so obviously you're going to get some more damage out of her. So I think as a character, my thoughts on Artemis is she is the damage dealer there, but I think the Amazon team is really best if you mix and match them into some other teams to get some other support there. And I feel from an Amazon perspective, if you're a free-to-play or a low spender and you want to invest in an Amazon, it's going to be Hippolyta out of all of them, in my opinion. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the graphic that I have. I'd really be interested in your feedback on the graphic, what kind of information you'd like to see. But let me pull that up right here. All right, so here we go. Over here on the left-hand side, similar to what you see in the game. So Guardian, she's Amazonian and Metahuman there. I'm going to put her tier list rank underneath. I just haven't done it yet. And then the middle column, it's a little empty, so I'm very curious kind of information, maybe game modes that she's best in and things like that. But I did put her main team in there. Maybe we put an alternate team in there. But obviously she's from the Amazonians, and on the right-hand side there, it's really kind of where I feel her stats and everything should be. So up there with the AC/DC shards on her force, really want to invest in the attack percentage, the physical defense, because again, as you increase the attack and the physical defense, you're going to be doing more damage. And the energy regeneration, because that's just going to help her attack more. Those are the main 3, and then once you're done with those, you can branch out and do whatever you want. The next one has to do with gearing. This has to do with the transmuting. Your attack and your defense, I still think, are important. Your HP percent, because as you saw a couple times, she took a dirt nap a little bit early. So if you feel that she's not staying up with the rest of the team, then you can always do some additional physical defense or put some resistance in there or something like that. But these 3 are what I felt was necessary to go for in the very beginning. And then as far as weapons go, from most recommended down to least recommended, we've got Mistress here. Again, you've got your physical defense and your attack up. You've got that crit stacking. You've got the Amazonian damage up as well when she takes an enemy out that she duels. If you don't have that, you have the Amazonian shield. You're still getting the attack percent. You're getting the physical defense. You also are gaining a shield, which is going to help with survivability, which I think is important for her. And then next, I think this veers a little bit off of from what the game recommends, but the not so huge hammer, you got some HP in there, you got some attack percentage and some crit. I think that's important, especially that attack percentage. And then if you don't have anything there, you've got the umbrella down there for HP and attack as well. Again, as you increase HP and increase your physical defense, you're increasing her damage. It really just comes in handy. So those are my recommendations there. Again, curious, what do you think of the graphic that I created? What other information would you like to see on here? I want to make it informational and helpful, but I don't want it to be too cluttered. I want it to be easy to read and easy to follow. So, all right, everybody, that's what I had for you. That's Artemis. Very curious on your thoughts. I gave you kind of a few thoughts that I had about some good, some positive, and maybe some constructive feedback on her, but she's decent. I'm still going after the Amazons. I just don't think the Amazon team is a team that free-to-play or low spenders are really going to want to go after. If you're a spender, I think they're going to be a pretty decent team once you get them all maxed out. But I'm kind of curious, too, who else they might bring in and how this team may evolve as the game evolves. All right, everybody, that's what I had for you guys. Always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comments section below. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.